Welcome back. We have Eric Burmeister joining us here this morning because it is Affordable Housing Week. Eric, welcome.
Thank you.
We first, let's share with everybody just what Affordable Housing Week is.
Sure.
And just everything that it's all about. There's some great events going on, and for those who aren't familiar, kind of talk about that.
All right. So, well, this is our 7th year, and I was just saying to Jackie, it's the 7th year we've kicked it off with you guys.
Yeah, that's so exciting. So thank you for being back.
Well, and thanks for having us. So, what the Polk County Housing Trust Fund tries to do, or does do every year, is to put together a week's worth of activities in the middle of April where we can bring to the community issues and solutions regarding affordable housing issues and shortages that we have in central Iowa. And that's what we're doing again this year in the same format that we've used before, but have really sort of beefed up our game this year in terms of bringing in some national experts. So
why is this important? Or does it go back to those issues that you were mentioning before? But why is it so important that we do this every year?
Well, it's important because as a region, as a central Iowa region, we're pretty short on affordable housing, particularly housing for what Polk County Housing Trust Fund calls its service workforce.
Okay.
So folks that work in retail, folks that work in food service, folks that work in housekeeping, those folks that are making somewhere between minimum wage and about $11 an hour are having serious trouble finding housing that they can afford that is adjacent to or close to their jobs.
What are some of the things that you feel will help change that, most importantly?
Well, most importantly, we need to really start looking very closely at where many of these service jobs are. Because one of the things that really does help make housing affordable is if people live close to where they work.
True.
Because it cuts down their transportation costs dramatically. We also have a lot of research that shows that it improves their efficiency level, makes sure they get to work on time, make sure they get to work on a regular basis. One of the issues that we have in central Iowa is that many of our lower wage job centers are in areas of the region where there is no affordable housing. So if you take a look at Jordan Creek, for instance, it's impossible to be working at Jordan Creek full time and find a place out there that you could, say, walk to work. So we need to start doing a better job of aligning the location of our lower wage job centers and providing affordable housing that's close.
So how do we make that change? We have this every year, and we're raising awareness and getting families into homes, but what are we really doing right now?
Well, right now there are a number of cities that are undergoing various planning processes. Cities do it all the time. They do long-range land use planning. They look at something called a comprehensive plan. And what we're seeing is that in our metro area, more cities now are starting to take housing into account when they do those plans. So in the old days, it was just, where's the sewer going to go? Where are the streets going to go? Where are the infrastructure things that take long-range planning to get done? Where's all that going to go? Now people are starting to say, oh, and by the way, if we know there's going to be heavy commercial use in a certain node where we have retail, for instance, then let's set aside a little bit of land that's close to that and say, we're going to ask developers to build affordable housing here.
Okay. One of the events that you have going on this morning is the Landlord Forum. Talk about what people can expect from that.
The Landlord Forum is a program that's set aside specifically for landlords and property managers who serve these very same tenants that we were talking about, these folks that work in lower wage or service jobs. And it's a way to help landlords understand sometimes the special needs that those folks deal with. And because sometimes those folks are immigrant population, for instance. Many times they are folks that may have come from someplace where they're not used to having a full kitchen and a dishwasher and all of that. And so what we try and do is to make sure that landlords understand how best to serve those tenants and give them tips and ideas and also direct them to resources that they can use.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit, we just had a graphic up there, Undesign the Red Line. What exactly does that mean?
Well, the theme for Affordable Housing Week in 2019 is housing equity. Okay. That is, how does our region look in terms of where housing is located, and has that have those decisions to locate affordable housing in certain areas been conscious or accidental? And what Undesign the Red Line says is that a lot of those decisions to put affordable housing in certain areas, for instance, in the central part of the city of Des Moines, have been conscious. And they've been driven mostly by federal housing policy that going all the way back to the days of redlining, that have really shaped our region. Undesign the Red Line, and we'll be back Wednesday to talk more about that. Undesign the Red Line is a historical look at some of those federal policies.
Okay, and let's also talk about a design challenge that you always have,
yes.
Which is absolutely amazing because some incredible things have come out of that. We're going to talk more about that later in the week, but just give us a hint of what that looks like. And of course, we have last year's winner we can show off as well.
Oh, good. So, yeah, we have been giving an opportunity to high school students in the Des Moines region to basically take a look at what a family might need in terms of an affordable single-family home. And these students then, and most of them are from design classes or computer-aided design classes, then go ahead and start thinking about and using their skills to design that house. And so each year then, the top 5, and this year I think we had over 40 students compete. The top 5 come in on Saturday morning and basically defend in front of a jury or a panel of judges, defend their designs and answer questions. And then the students that are first, second, and third receive scholarships and cash prizes.
Oh, what a great opportunity for everybody. And like you said, there's some other events going on this week. You guys are going to be back later in the week to talk more about those. If you want to find out some more information about Affordable Housing Week and those events, you can go to their website at pchtf.org.
Great to see you, sir.
Yeah, thank you much.
7 years going strong.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll
Way
have
to
we
kick off
should-
the week, right?
Very good. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.